everyone, and welcome back to Sunday Reads with Renee at Simply Renee. My name is Renee, and today I'm going to be doing something different, which is a review of the book Convenience Store Woman by Sayaka Murata. And this is one of my favorite books of all time. And the reason I love this book so much is because of how relatable I found it in 2020, and again when I reread it this summer for 2025. And before I begin, I just want to let everyone know that spoilers are ahead, so please be forewarned and enjoy. Now, Convenience Store Woman is more of a novella that was written by Japanese writer Sayaka Murata, who, based on her own experiences in the book, working as a part time convenience store worker for about 18 years. The interesting thing about Convenience Store Woman is that it does feel very relatable to me because it's about a woman in her 30s who's now facing the reality of the fact that, wow, I'm in a dead end job that I love, but society doesn't really like that about me. It doesn't really conform to my wishes and desires to be content in this life. And also, I'm not married, I have no kids, and even though I'm fine with that, other people are making judgments on me. Keiko is a very interesting character in that at 36 years old, she doesn't have too much of a life outside of it. Sure, she has her friendships and her family members, but she also loves the convenience store job. She really loves it to the point where she dresses, mimics, and models her speech patterns on her coworkers, which I found a little bit odd, but it does fit in with just how much her life is wrapped around this convenience store job. And some people do judge her because even though she's content in that job, it's a part time job. She lives in a small, tiny apartment that's not very nice. And they expect her to be in a more higher position job or a better one, want her to get married and have kids because they're like, hey, your family members and other friends are having kids and starting families too. Why not pursue that option, even though she's quite content in that life? And the interesting thing about this novella is that because it's so short, it does pack a bit of a punch to move a little bit more quickly than a 300 plus page novel would do. Now, when it comes to the 300 plus page novel, I would have given her some more character development, which is what I kind of would have liked about Convenience Store Woman. But it does get to the point of what it needs by the ending. She does decide at some point to really pursue that lifestyle that everyone wants. As a 36-year-old woman, Keiko decides, hey, maybe I should leave this job, even though I'm content with it, and go off and try to find a better one. She even meets a man who isn't a great guy. He's a terrible person in general, doesn't hold down a job, treats her horribly, but he's not really interested in a marriage of love, but more convenience. And he says, hey, why don't we just go ahead and do it? And so she considers this option until, on her way to her first job interview at a better one, she comes across the convenience store to grab a bite to eat and look into it and realizes, wow, this is an entirely unorganized convenience store. It's not the kind of work that I was with for 18 years, and I want to end up fixing things up. And so she decides to start doing it and realizes through that path that this is what she loves, this is what she wants to do and be with her life. And she says, nope, I'm not going to marry you. I'm not going to pursue the other job. I'm just going to live my life and be happy with it as I was before. Now, one of the things I like about this novella is that it's really more about finding your path, even though society doesn't really like it. Going against the taboos, going against conforming in society. When I read this in 2020, it really related to me because I myself was in a job I liked but wasn't really going anywhere. I was a tour guide in a museum and really enjoyed that job, but I wanted more out of my life, and I was afraid I was going to be there forever until about 2021. I managed to get a job that was a little bit more of a better paying position, something that I do enjoy as an administrative assistant. But I did have a lot of judgments on me for being a tour guide, even though I was happy in it despite wanting more. And I didn't really like being looked down on at times because I felt that way from other people, even though I was content and happy in some aspects of the job. And also, I'm not married and I don't have children at 37 years old. And it's not because I'm against any of that, but I'm just content with that life. And some people who are from that generation where getting married and having kids was the best thing to ever happen, which is great for a lot of people, but not so much for me. And I get judged by it because I'm, 37. When are you going to get married, have kids, or at least be with someone? And so Keiko's story really did relate to me in 2020, and it still does in 2025. But what I like best about it at the end is that she does pursue what she herself wants for herself and what makes her happy and her excited to be in that realm of where she wants to be in her life. And I think that's a very important thing because it is her life and it's what she should be able to do. Now, the thing about Convenience Store Woman is that it is written from more of the Japanese societal perspective, and that's because, again, Sayaka Murata lives in Japan, was born and raised there, and so you see a lot of that come into play if you know a lot about Japanese society. I know a lot about it because of my own various studies, and also thanks to YouTube. Embracing more Japanese content creators coming in and more of that history coming into focus. But one of the things that I did find makes it relatable is because it's societal expectations do happen everywhere in the world where some people expect you to be one thing when you want to be another. Some want the best for you and love you and want the best for you again, but they don't really take into account the fact that what feels best for you is just to be content with your life, if that's where you are, and be happy with it. A convenience store woman doesn't have a lot of character development in that sense, though, because even though Keiko does reach that point at the end, I would have liked to have seen more. Now, granted, this is a novella and it was meant to be short and attract what we needed to be attracted to in the certain realms of novella, which is short, sweet, and to the point. But I would have liked to have seen more go forward. Does Keiko choose to go back to the convenience store and just move ahead, maybe get into a management position, maybe move herself up because she loves this convenience store so much and that's where she wants to be. I'm not really sure if that was the path she would have taken because she seemed to be fine just kind of mimicking and working and dealing with instructions more than anything else. But I would have liked to have seen if she'd grow and gravitate within the convenience store realm and really enjoy that and just have a good life. And who knows, maybe she'd find a good man who could treat her right and well, and she'd be very happy with that. And yeah, so there's a lot more character development, which I think could have gone forward if they did the 300 plus page novel version. But other than that, I really enjoy this novella. It's one of my favorites of all time. And I'd like to know what you think about Convenience Store Woman. Have you read it? What's your take on it? Did you find it an interesting novel? Relatable? Not relatable? So please be sure to leave your comments down below. I thank you so much for tuning into this video. So this was just a basic quick review that I did with Convenience Store Women. I did it a little choppy because I'm just kind of rolling with the punches just a little bit. And I hope to do more reviews in the future, of course, even some more deep dives into it. But I hope you've enjoyed this video and I'll be back next week with more deep dive information on certain topics. But I hope you enjoy this quick video Sunday read with Renee. And I thank you so much for tuning in. Please be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.